We need to be very thoughtful and mindful about how we roll out the opportunity for faculty and students to use e-portfolios. I really do think it makes sense to target it to specific programs or departments. And what's going to be critical in this is faculty buy-in and students' understanding of how, in fact, this is not just an add-on, but something that actually can help them in their own arc of learning, if you will. Faculty on this campus are really sensitive to student learning, and they're focused on students. I think that's part of the Chico State experience, is the faculty's widespread commitment to students and keeping students in mind. I think what's going to be critical is faculty understanding or coming to understand how, in fact, their values are promoted, instantiated, enhanced by the use of the ePortfolio tool.
I think faculty buy-in is really, really crucial. I think we probably need to do some sort of a pilot project or something and introduce it slowly and see how it works. I think somehow we have to develop trust with the faculty so that they know that it's not being used in ways that we're not intending it to be used. I kind of feel like it needs to be rolled out bottom up. You know, if we do a large top-down restructuring of the way we do things, I think a lot of people will resist it. So I think it really has to come from the bottom and have buy-in. And I think we also have to have a lot of faculty support. So we need to have some training. Maybe we've talked about having a studio or something for training. So I think that's important too.
The initiative has to be bottom up, that faculty have to believe in the intrinsic value of the tool to further student learning, and that's primary.
I think that my ideas about how to roll out ePortfolios have changed fairly significantly. I recognize the nuances, or it's going to be a more complex process to get ePortfolios out and to foster widespread adoption. And from my experience on the GE task force, I was like an all-in person, right? Just got to do it. It's got to go big or go home kind of approach. And I think that I'm actually more convinced now that we need to work with pockets, coalitions of the willing, people who are interested, already doing interesting work, and just really one of the main efforts will be to disseminate that kind of activity more broadly so that faculty become convinced by members of their own ranks regarding the advantages of using ePortfolio technology.
I would imagine that if we don't get solid support from the provost and the president in the different kinds of ways, that is, that they would not only adopt and embrace ePortfolios as at the heart of Chico State's learning ventures, then it might fail. But another thing that might lead to that are if we don't get grassroots support from different kinds of programs across the university adopting it, people doing pilots with majors or in GE, if we don't get some kind of broad-based understanding of the different kinds of ways that people could use portfolios, then I would imagine it might also fail.
Both in my academic research and my work as the Dean of Undergraduate Education, what I've come to realize is that top-down does not work and bottom-up does not work. Okay? You have to have both, right? You have to have both efforts. There needs to be support at the top, and I think that we have that on our campus with the provost. I think the deans would be very easy to convince of the benefits of going with ePortfolios. And you need the bottom-up support, and only when both of those aspects of support for change are in harmony is anything going to happen.
I'd like to imagine that what we're doing is developing a media ecology, and that is that we might very well push out two different options to the campus, depending on the kinds of purposes that they have. whether it's a purpose for the major, like 5-year accreditation, or other kinds of things, so that people could select the kinds of processes and platforms that might work best for them and thus might work best for the students as well.
So for me, for me personally, as the director of the School of Education, overseeing multiple different programs and pathways, this is an exciting development because it allows for us to bring in tools to really enhance the work that is already demanded of us.